Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Announces. Today I have some fun news, and some sad news, unfortunately. The sad news is not incredibly sad, but just to say that Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, only the paperback version. The price has gone up a little bit in the Amazon store. So what happened was previously Amazon did not have distribution in Australia because they did not have a formal Amazon printer in Australia. So in order to get the books to Australia, you had to go through their extended distribution, which means that somebody had to buy a book off of Amazon and ship it to Australia for you. This essentially tripled the price of any book that wanted to go to Australia. Now, the reason Amazon didn't have a printer in Australia is because of the fact that Australia is pretty much for a forever distance from everywhere. It takes a lot of money to get all of this stuff to make a printing press to Australia, and so printing in Australia was more expensive. But Amazon finally broke down, made the investment, and you can now buy Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, the paperback edition, in Australia. So what else is going on here? Well, I figured that while I changed the price so that the books could be available in Australia, because I had to raise the price a little bit for that, I would also do some editing that I had been meaning to do. Minor copyright and typos and whatnot that made it through the editing process somehow. Some of it was strictly my fault. Some of it I'll have to talk to my editor about. But I think there was a couple dozen minor typos. Some were things I could not expect the editor to catch, complex biological things where my dyslexia kicked in and I used the wrong terms. Some things were things that only exist in my head and I should not have expected the editor to catch them. But some were fairly minor things. And apparently I have always been using the British spelling of gray for my entire life. But be that as it may, the word editor does not like that. Anyway, so these are basically just no real misspellings because Word caught that, but using the wrong word that Word can't catch. A few sentences I had to tighten up. I caught most of these while I was going through reading the audiobook, and that is the second part of my announcement. I've already announced that the audiobook is up on Amazon, and you can get a really great deal. Amazon works with Audible, so the book was up on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. But I found a distributor that got my audiobook up on all of the other sites. Apparently, there are 41 other. Actually, there's 42, but the distribution site only gives it out to 41. 41 other sites that take your audiobook and distribute it around the world. So basically, my audiobook is up on 42 of the 43 places where you can sell audiobooks. Now, this is not a paid sponsorship or anything. I wish. But I do want to give a shout out to the company Find Your Voices that published my book. That I submitted my book to, and they basically, you send it to this one place, and they send it all over the world to all these little audiobook stores that I would not have been able to discover on my own without spending a lot of time. So I spent 10 minutes doing what would have been days or weeks of effort and not gotten them out to all of there. So I really appreciate it. The application project has a few caveats. You need to upload 2 different cover files, one in 3000 by 3000 pixels and one in 2400 by 2400. But anyway, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data book of Human Absurdity is up on 3-Leaf Group, Axile, Baker and Taylor, Bibliotheca, Biddy, Besco, Floet, Hoopla, Imlaw, Odal, Overdrive, Permabound, Wheelers, 24 Symbols, Anyplay, Apple, Audiobooks, Audiobooks Now, Audiobooks in Z, Baja Libros, Beak, Binge Books, Bocos Play, Bookmate, Chirp, Click, spelled with Q, Downpour, eStories, Google Play, Hummingbird, InstaRed, Kobo, Walmart, Lemos, Libro FM, Next Story, Nuke Audiobooks, Scribd, Storytel, and uBook. And that is their standard distribution package. Going to be honest here, I did not know most of those existed. I did not know Google Books did audiobooks, but they're up there. They may not be available now. I only put it up about 72 hours ago, so it may take a few hours for them to get all the way through. Now, one thing that they said was that they'd try to hook me up with links to them, and so all those links should be on my main website in due time. But for now, each individual site has to accept the offering from Findaway Voices. But yeah, the audiobook is up. It's up on a bunch of different places. I was advertising my audiobook in all the usual places, and one commenter kindly indicated that an author-narrated book is kind of a turnoff for some people because most authors aren't trained voice actors, and who boy do I ever know that. And they warned me that if I really wanted to sell my book, I might not want to advertise that. But I'm like, nah, I believe in truth in advertising. I want people to go in knowing exactly what they're getting. I find in all of my advertising efforts over the years, if you are honest and even downplay it a little bit, people aren't disappointed. And dissatisfaction with your product comes when they're expecting it to be something that it's not. So I've always found just be perfectly honest in your advertisements, even maybe downplay it a little, give people a little surprise, a happy surprise when they go in. So I want everybody to know that I read those chapters. I am not a professional audiobook reader. I'm not bad at reading audiobooks. I have been reading people's stories and telling people's stories since I was 10 years old. And so I have a nice flair for reading books. I think, I think you'll enjoy it. But it is not professionally done. This is not a script. There's barely any difference between the voices of the characters. I tried to put a difference in, and I know how to pronounce the Trisk names, like quilx'tch. And the only thing that I'm dissatisfied with was I was not able to remember to remove all R sounds from my enunciation of the Trisk dialogue. And the Trisk do not have the vocal cords to be able to pronounce an R. So I assume just pretend they're all wearing a translator that only translate the necessary R sounds. But anyway, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a book of human absurdity, audiobook, up on all of the platforms except the one that would have been extra work and I was in a hurry. So and I can't remember what it was, but I'll look at getting the final audiobook up there. And Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, paperback, price has gone up a little, but it is now available in Australia. And Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data Kindle, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data Nook, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data audiobook, all still the same price. So go check those out, enjoy them, and see what you like. Peace out, my wonderful viewers.
The book from author Betty Adams, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, is a humorous look at human behavior through the eyes of aliens. This book is arranged in separate reports or essays, documenting the experiences with humanity through the lens of the aliens who have to interact with them. This anthology of short stories and vignettes from alien points of view highlights some of humanity's quirks we can all relate to. Author Betty Adams captures how strange and interesting humans can really be. This is a fun collection of stories you will really get a kick out of. Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, from author Betty Adams. Order your copy right now on Amazon.